Joining us now is CHR Commissioner and Spokesperson Attorney Beda Epres. Magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Hi, Gretchen. Good morning, and good morning to your televiewers.
Attorney, do you agree with the report saying that the Philippines showed no clear systematic improvement in 2024 on human rights?
Maybe to put it in the proper context, let's all I think the report states that there is a decline in the numbers of human rights violation, but with respect to a sustainable and systematic approach on how to fight human rights violation, I think the government still needs an improvement on the matter. So there is a decrease in numbers of human rights violation, but a policy on a clear and sustainable and systematic way of how to prevent or address human rights human rights violation is really still necessary.
So that means to say you agree with the report's assessment?
Yes.
Okay. Sa mga nakaraang taon ho, marami pa rin po ba tayong nababalitaan na extrajudicial killings? And why do these continue to persist despite the administration's stance against the EJ case and for a more rehabilitative approach to the drug war?
Probably the reason is yung ano po siguro, yung the campaign against the drug problem is still intensifying. No? Tuloy-tuloy pa rin po ang Philippine National Police on this. Although there was a refocus on the part of the Marcos administration to treat the drug problem as a health concern. Pero still, if we namomonitor din naman po natin sa balita na talaga pong parang tumitindi ulit yung drug problem dito sa Philippines, and that is why the Philippine National Police is intensifying their operation. And so in the process, nagkakaroon po ng encounter, and that is the reason why tumataas po ulit yung number of deaths arising from these drug operations. Maybe isa na rin po siguro is sinasabi po kasi nila that matagal makita yung accountability, yung progress ng mga investigations ng lahat ng investigating bodies medyo mabagal. So hindi kaagad na-establish yung liability nung mga perpetrators. When I say liability, no, it's what I mean by that is the determination whether liable ba siya or is it a product of illegitimate police operation. So kung mabilis po sana yung ating investigation on this, hindi hangin yung issue on whether may liability or wala. Sana may establish po kaagad itong accountability kung meron man. Kung wala, and then i-dismiss na rin po kaagad yung cases because it is a result of illegitimate police operation.
Does that mean to say that the government has not put in place enough deterrents against the EJ case?
There are systems, ma'am, in place naman. Kaya nga lang, ang nagiging problema is pagdating po doon sa investigation na on the matter. Like investigation on whether this person is really involved in drugs or whether meron bang overkill doon sa procedure in implementing the police operations. Yun lang po siguro ang nagiging problema, kaya medyo nandyan pa rin yung usapin with respect to killings in relation to drug operations.
Hindi ho ba pagdating naman po dun sa sa mga police operation, they are required to wear body cams. Kaya mas madali po makita kung ano po yung nangyayari in the crime scene, which could help the investigation itself.
Yes, ma'am. Tama po yan.
Oo. Pero at the same, nahihirapan pa rin po in closing these cases.
Doon na po, ma'am, sa process ng investigation, medyo aminado po tayo, medyo mabagal po talaga yung even if there are sufficient evidence na nakikita or the available evidence, but it's the process, the procedure in the conduct of the investigation itself po ang medyo
Knowing
mabagal.
that,
Maybe it's because of
Oo.
yes po.
Knowing that law enforcers themselves are involved or the subject of the investigation. That is the primary challenge here.
Isa po yun, and siguro kasi ang dami rin po ng cases na iniimbestigahan talaga ng ating Department of Justice. So medyo may konti pong delay. But then, I think the government, specifically the Department of Justice, is really intensifying din po the conduct of their operation para talaga mapabilis na ito and ma-establish ang accountability para hindi po na pagbibintangan na there is impunity pagdating po sa commission ng mga criminal offenses.
Attorney, I do remember the PNP chief, the current one, PNP Chief Nicolas Torre III, inviting the CHR to join police operations. Nagbago po ba yung tone nitong PNP sa mga request po ng CHR? At kayo po ba sumama na?
Nagkaroon po ng courtesy visit yung aming chairperson with the Chief PNP with the plan of crafting a memorandum of agreement. And during the meeting, the head of the National Police Commission was also present. So ang naging usapan po nitong tatlong agencies is maging tripartite na po yung memorandum of agreement para balance po. Merong on the part of the operation, meron pong titingin doon sa possible criminal and administrative liability ng mga police personnel involved, and then yung human rights aspect naman. We are in the process, ma'am, of finalizing the memorandum of agreement. And isa po yun doon sa pupuntahan yung maging involved po yung Commission on Human Rights in the conduct of investigation against po sa mga Philippine National Police. And to us, that is a welcome development that the administration of the Philippine National Police is opening its door para po sa CHR na opo.
Oo, so papasok po kayo dun na po sa investigative stage?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Pero ang isa pong tinitingnan namin baka pwede na maging doon po sa education aspect kung kailangan po sigurong merong mga trainings na ibigay din ang CHR with respect to the issue on human rights para alam lang po nila magkaroon po ng human rights approach in the conduct of the investigation, in the conduct of their police operation.
Okay. How about the red tagging situation? It has been ruled as a threat to personal safety. How are our, I guess, the victims of red tagging doing? Dumadami po ba yung mga incidents? O the Supreme Court ruling has helped the situation?
Yes, at least because of the ruling of the Supreme Court, they had the chance to really tell the people that red tagging is a threat to the life and security of individuals being surveilled or being monitored. And that's the reason, ma'am, we conducted a public inquiry on red tagging. We invited the victims to testify and to provide testimonies. And we also invited the state forces, yun pong napagbibintangan na allegedly sila po yung nagsasagawa ng red tagging. And hopefully we could come up with the report. The purpose naman po ng aming inquiry is really to provide a definition of what is really red tagging and then submit recommendation to Congress if there is really a need for a law or to pass a law on red tagging. Pero marami pa rin pong mga reports kaming nare-receive and marami pa pong nag-file ng complaints sa amin about our human rights advocates being the subject of surveillance by elements of the state.
Do we have updates on the journalists that have been arrested because of, I guess, what they do? One of which is Frenchie May Cumpio, a community journalist in Tacloban City who has been accused of carrying illegal firearms and explosives. Meron po ba tayong update doon? Ano po yung nangyari sa sitwasyon na yun?
We are closely monitoring the case. The last report that was relayed to us by our regional office is that natapos na po ata yung testimony ng defense ng last week of July, and there's already awaiting for the decision from the courts po.
Oo. Pero is the CHR closely monitoring this case?
Yes, ma'am. We are closely monitoring the case. Kasi po, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, we received a report that meron pong restrictions na ini-implement yung warden nung doon sa Region 8 kung saan po naka-detain sina Miss Cumpio, and we immediately requested the warden to explain kung ano po ba yung reklamo, like hindi sila nabibigyan. Letters that are supposedly addressed to them ay binabasa po muna, tapos hindi po kaagad sila pinagbibigyan din sa request for medical attention, and we already asked the warden to explain, and we're also conducting investigation on the matter.
Okay. The Marcos administration has about 3 years left, and this report comes in the middle of that term. What would the CHR like to see from this administration to be able to give them a passing grade when it comes to human rights and pushing for a more systematic approach to the fight?
Yes. But sana po tuloy-tuloy po yung maging focus ng Marcos administration with respect to the issue of yung drug problem. Sana tuloy-tuloy that they would treat this as a health issue, and the remedy really is rehabilitation, and dapat paigtingan po yung due process pagdating po doon sa mga nahuhuli. And of course, expedite yung trials na ginagawa, because marami po ang nakadetain who are awaiting a trial, and those who have been in jail for quite a long time na po, na waiting for the decision in their cases. So kung mas mabilis po sana yung pag-dispense ng justice, then mabilis na makakalabas yung mga tao sa kulungan, and then that would really decongest yung ating mga cases of deprivation of liberties. And also, pagdating po sa extrajudicial killing, sana tingnan po natin ulit ang ano po ba talaga ang focus ng government. If sana the focus would be on intensifying investigation from the police force to determine really whether these individuals are into drugs or involved in any criminality, and that the killing would only be the last resort. If yun na po yung, if it is a self-defense, talagang at risk na rin po yung ating mga frontliners na mga police. Killing should never be resorted po sana.
All right. Thank you very much. This is a good point for self-reflection as the Marcos administration heads on to its last 3 years. At katuwang po namin kayo, ang CHR, in, fighting for human rights. We have CHR Commissioner and Spokesperson Attorney Beda Epres commenting on that latest U.S. report.